politics and deep dish pizza. Had I been given the opportunity to vote on what values he would be discussing, I would have voted for Chicago values like 10 times.
Okay.
At least.
Awesome.
Vote early, vote often.
Yes.
Go Chicago.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
So, so this week,
Too subtle?
I'd say probably the most ridiculous noticeable news was Sarah Palin getting brought in by Donald Trump for her endorsement. And I'll try to look up, well, I don't know, I should have done this before. Is it worth looking up while we're talking any of her clips and playing some of it? Or is that too big a risk?
We shouldn't play those clips. Just as a courtesy to our listeners. It's on the internet. I've heard beat poetry that made more sense than the crap she was spewing. We were talking about this before we started the show, how Ride Along 2 has dropped out of first place. But just consider, last week, people were excited to have Sarah Palin back on the national stage. Ride Along 2 was the #1 movie in America. Just a note to the smart people, forget it. You've already lost. It's,
Yeah.
There is less and less room for intellectual expression in America these days.
They also, you probably heard also that our college students believe that Judge Judy is on the Supreme Court.
Oh, so that should
and so that should tell you.
Give them a little bit of credit. I think they believed she was on the Supreme Court.
Oh,
that's my guess. But I'm an optimist.
But my thing is that you're. This is where our society is. This is what, that, like I always say, they say, well, can Donald Trump win? Are the Kardashians rich? Yes.
Yeah. If you were trying to throw an election, I think the #1 thing you do is bring in Sarah Palin. I just think there was a big spread in the National Review. It
was the whole issue.
Yeah, the whole issue.
Oh, yeah.
For those of you that don't know, the National Review is a right-wing political magazine.
Yeah. Yep.
And they spent their whole issue going against Donald Trump. So the conservatives don't want him. It's like the show. It was fun to laugh at him early on, and now it's like, oh my God, Iowa is like 8 days away, and this asshole's up by 11 points. We got to stop this fucking train wreck. So,
well, yeah, but I mean, you're saying that bringing Sarah Palin out, is a sure way to tank the campaign. But the thing is, this is playing right into the hands of the target audience. I have plenty of complaints about Donald Trump, but the one thing that I will definitely give him credit for is the man knows how to work a crowd. Yes. And it's funny. I saw headlines when he brought her out to stump for him in Iowa, and the headlines were Palin throws red meat to Trump crowds in Iowa, and I had to read the stories just to make sure that was still metaphorical, that she wasn't literally throwing red meat out to the crowds, because that really does seem like something she would do, just because it would piss off all the liberal vegetarian weaklings, don't you know?
You betcha.
Oh, God. But, no.
I shot these pieces of meat myself.
Yeah. It's, I think anyone with half a brain or more in their head, Thierrion, would agree with you that this is ridiculous. This is obviously turning into the political equivalent of the producers. But but if you look at the response, they are playing exactly to the audience they want. They don't care about the quality of the people that are getting behind them. They care about the numbers.
You are talking to the underbelly. It is the underbelly of our society. I'm telling you that you're right. It's the underbelly. I mean, he knows who he's talking to. It's like Tyler Perry knew if he put out Medea, he knows what black folks are going to watch that movie.
Yeah, and so sort of preface a conversation we're going to have later. Right. He's not making Oscar bait. No. Tyler Perry knows, Medea movies aren't going to get nominated for anything except maybe a raspberry.
Yeah. But I mean, they're
going to pack the houses,
right? And the audience that wants Donald Trump, he speaks to them. I mean, I've been around him. I've sat. Hey, he says what I want to say. He says that, really, doesn't he speak for you? And then this whole thing. We want our country back. Can someone please tell me what the fuck that means? We want our country back.
Oh, I think we know what it means.
I don't know what it means. Please tell the black man what it means.
You only say this kind of thing. That kind of phrase only came up when a president of a certain ethnic persuasion wound up in the White House. Suddenly, it's we want our country back. So yeah, it's a rich white guy speaking to a bunch of rednecks around the country.
Yeah, Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
As a white man who is not rich and not privileged necessarily, we never had the country in the first fucking place. Because like these people that do have the country, they're white and they're rich, but there's like the other rest of us who aren't.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, but you're a lot closer to having a piece of it than someone
but
say
I'm saying
the shade of
what you're
Tymon
saying
over there.
If you talk to someone, say from the South or whatever, or people say up in toward Northern California, those certain Fresno area, they don't believe that. They believe that, hey man, Trump speaks for us. And yeah, we do want our country back. And ooh, look what they've done to us. Our country's been ruined by this guy. And it's like, really, what country are you guys living in? And that's why he's able to
They're living
sell.
in the Fox News nation.
Yeah, I mean, that's why he's able to sell people this crap. And, it's going to get worse.
Well, he won people over by saying the political correctness has gone too far, and then after that he could spew any kind of shit he wants till people wake up, because people wanted to hear. I can't believe I'm saying this. My people wanted to hear that political correctness has gone too far. Donald Trump told them what they wanted to hear, and now he's their darling for now. But
I have guys. One of the guys I play golf with, he even says, "Well, I'm going to vote for him." I said, "You're going to vote for Donald Trump?" Yeah, he says. I said, "Really?"
Did you hit him with a club?
I said, "Well, you believe that this guy speaks for you?" Well, he's better than those other guys and everything. Dude, he is a reality TV show.
And not only that, he's not a Republican. Somebody tweeted, Caitlyn Jenner has been a woman longer than Donald Trump has been a Republican. Okay, he voted for Obama in 2008. He said Palin.
He did. He said so.
What's that?
He voted for Obama in 2008.
I think he did. He did.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
wait a minute, but wait a minute.
Hillary,
it'd be fun to know that Caitlyn Jenner is a Republican.
Yes.
She is.
Yeah.
And hey, and who is the? You got a lot of
deluded people of all sorts on that side of the fence.
Yeah.
But one of the things I think is really interesting about this week's issue of the National Review is I've sort of been skimming through the editorials, and the one thing that just really befuddles me is that no one in there is taking credit for creating this Frankenstein monster that the Republican Party has become.
Exactly.
And you're getting all these hardcore establishment conservatives, some of whom actually do represent what true conservative values are or are supposed to be, rather than this pro-ignorance, pro-racist rhetoric that the Tea Party has turned the Republican Party into. I'm sorry, that's just reality. And the fact that they're ignoring the cause is really no surprise. I'm going to fly the liberal flag here for a minute, but if you look at just the history of the Republican Party in at least our lifetimes, it's all been just a continuous denial of cause and effect. We supply. Yeah, I dropped the title in there, but the Taliban is fighting the Russians. Let's arm the Taliban. This is back in the 80s when Rambo was fighting with the Taliban on our movie screens, and then fast forward 10 years. The Taliban are bad guys. Where'd they get their guns? From you. And we're seeing that same thing happening now with the Tea Party. How have things gotten so out of control? These people don't represent our party. Well, you guys are the ones who not only invited them in, but said, fuck the couch. You guys are getting the guest bedroom, and we're bringing you breakfast in bed every morning that you're here. You do that. 5 months later, you can't be, why are these guys in the guest room?
I was 12-year-old me was firmly on the side of Afghanistan in that war because we had just beaten the Russians in the Miracle on Ice. The Taliban didn't have a hockey team. I couldn't cheer against them. They're the good guys. Kick the Russians' ass. We did it in February. You can kick their ass.
Yeah.
So I had no idea.
I think that we've turned into. I think that Trump has been a big distraction also.
Yeah.
Because people don't. When you have a lot of distractions, you don't get to focus on what is truly. So you don't get to focus on yourself. You don't get to focus on what's really going on in our society or whatever. It's because you got this one big distraction in here that you're focused on when you can't really do the things you really need to do because you're being told that you need to follow Trump. You need to jump on this bandwagon and follow this crap. No, you don't. You need to take your ass to work, go out and look for a job, and continue to do it. It doesn't matter who you stick in the White House. You need to continue to do what you need to do to get yourself moving. But you're trying to say that this guy is going to come in and be this damn savior.
Yeah, that's very familiar.
Yeah, he's a savior. Well, and when they thought
liberals
about,
were talking about their savior, 7 years ago, at least that guy had actual plans. And detailed plans rather than it's going to be great. It's going to be the greatest healthcare in the world. It's going to be great. Sure. Certain things turned out not to be true. Not everybody who liked their doctors got to keep their doctors. Not a perfect system, but at least he had plans and details more than it's going to be awesome. It's going to be the greatest.
But see, there again, in our society, we're going to put these Superman whatever, as they look at, the Republicans look at Reagan as some god, like he did no wrong, he never got anything wrong. But my thing is, when you talk about Obama, it's stupid to think that a president is going to make your life better. You put all your eggs that this guy. No, he's not a god. He is a mere man who got voted in to become, one of the largest, the leader of the free world, and that's it. That's all he is.
But I disagree. Sure, it's whoever is elected president isn't going to be following me at the supermarket and saying, no, you don't want that peanut butter. That one's on sale. They aren't going to affect your life directly in matters like that. But in terms of as a lot of people are talking about the upcoming election, one of the most important issues is going to be appointing Supreme Court justices. And so, sure, as a heterosexual male who has never needed to get an abortion myself, Planned Parenthood doesn't necessarily affect my life directly. But, and yesterday or the day before being the 43rd anniversary of Roe versus Wade, keeping abortion safe and legal does contribute to how this country functions and the general tenor. So in that respect, the president does affect.
But I'm just saying that please do not look upon him as a god or put him on. He has.
It's a job.
Yeah, it's a job, and we vote him in, and we know what we want of him. Yes, you can say, hey, this needs. You need the federal government involved to control certain things. Yes, we do that in certain laws. Things change with things with the Supreme Court. Yes, we do that. But don't put him to the point that, he is, the great white hope or the great black hope. You're stupid if you do that because there are things that you still have to do, and as a person. And see, I think that they're looking at Donald Trump as coming in and he is going to, I'm just going to be great. I'm going to build a wall. No, you're not, asshole. You're not going to build a wall. Only a fool would go and believe that. But you can't tell.
Well,
you can't tell a Republican. You can't tell a guy.
Yeah, only a fool would believe that. Your point being,
you can't tell a dude, a Republican in Mississippi with no teeth in his head who has that believe that because he's not. He said, "Well, do you need Obamacare?" No, I'm Republican. I don't want Obamacare. I'm gonna get it on my own. Okay, that's why you have no teeth.
Yeah, that's Donald Trump, again, he just told a certain audience what they wanted to hear, and he's got no plans. But you were talking earlier about a president following you around saying what kind of peanut butter to buy. If Bernie Sanders is your president, there's only going to be one kind of peanut butter to buy. Peanut butter!
That's
white label black lettuce.
That's just fear-mongering crap.
Way back when Bernie Sanders said something like, we have too many varieties of, like, antifreeze. It was a joke, come on.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, it was a bomb. Fine.
Hostile
audience. I'll be here all week. Tip your waiters.
Sorry, I didn't know the line. I'm sorry. No, but
It's an outdated reference. It's
Well, okay, so I got to say,